From business insurance to getting back to business in the kitchen, we welcome back Chef Dion.
Thank you so much for having me, ladies. I've missed you all.
Yeah, you know. And that's why we had to call you back, because we know, we're about to throw down.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Absolutely. Now, the Gatsby sandwich is a Cape Town heritage speciality. It was first served up in 1976 in Athlone and has since become world famous. We're going to try out this juicy masala steak Gatsby, topped off with Clover classic dairy snack dressing. Dumi, lead the way.
I would love to lead, Balis. I definitely would, but I know that this Gatsby is nothing without that steak filling, and that's why we've brought the master over here to tell us exactly what makes that steak so delectable, such a delicious thing that everyone always wants to get back to it. So let us...
Cool. You're absolutely right there. Gatsby, I mean, you get it in Cape Town, Athlone, the mother city of it. But we got a version in Joburg. We call it the AK-47. It's very much similar to the thing. It's because it's such a big sort of vessel to hold all of their flavors in. But you can literally put anything in there. I think the rule is it must have slap chips in there. Slap chips, très important. And then the rest of the ingredients, you can go wild. I'm sure I'm giving the steak because of the masala properties in it right now. But you can literally use the cheapest cut of meat possible, because it is something that you can sort of use as a budget meal. But what you want to do is you can see the grain sort of running across the meat this way. You just want to sort of thinly slice them against it. So it sort of tenderizes it at the same time. So nice thin slivers like this, which means you can use a tough piece of meat like topside and get it tenderized. And as you cut it, it sort of makes it softer as we're cooking it.
So, Chef Don, do you think that this is then the trick to making sure, sometimes when you bite into a kota, a Gatsby, or a bunny chow even, something that has that tough meat, sometimes when you bite through all the soft, the bread, all the other fillings, but then when you get to the meat, you kind of have to struggle. So is this essentially what makes that just a breeze to eat?
Yes, absolutely. This is the part that sort of makes it easy or a breeze to eat, as you said. And another tip is you can add a bit of bicarb, like baking soda, over your meat like about an hour before you're about to cook it, and it sort of tenderizes it as well.
Beautiful. I'm learning, I am growing. Hopefully, I'm enabling you and also empowering you to be able to try this at home. Do me on your station.
Balissa, all I did is I'm just slicing up some tomatoes, because apparently a Gatsby does need that bit of crunch there with that tomato. That's why I needed to make sure that I hand over the reins to Dion today, because I did not want people coming from me and saying I'm doing it wrong. I needed to make sure that we get the master in to do it right and show me exactly. But like, Dion, I think I need to understand, because there's a difference between a chip roll and a masala steak roll and stuff like that. What specific spices make this a masala steak roll or a Gatsby in this?
Okay, so you need your masala, which is a blend of spices that sort of bring up the masala base as it is. Fine chili powder, we've got a bit of crushed chili flakes here. Turmeric, there's a touch of sugar just to aid in the caramelization and balance of the flavor. Got a bit of salt, pepper, and then a ginger garlic paste as well. So we've got a lot of like Indian flavors coming in there, but it's just to give you that robust, nice spiciness as well. Because in your Gatsby, you want that sort of that spiciness to come through, because it's normally like a dish that you'd eat after a long night of clubbing or the day after a long day of drinking per se.
Giving us a sneak peek into your life, huh, Dion?
It's just a South African Babalasky. Let's be real,
I'm kidding.
I've got the pan super hot, as you can see, smoking point. And you just want to drop your pieces of meat inside so we can get a bit of caramelization around it. And a bit of colour, because that's your flavour in it. I haven't seasoned it yet, because I don't want to bring out the natural moist and liquids of the meat, because you want to get that colour on it in the beginning.
I actually wanted to ask that. I mean, I grew up, I think, spicing your meat beforehand and then putting it on the pan already spiced up. So this is an interesting way, making sure that you still have all the juiciness of that steak coming out.
So once it starts searing off, I'll just start adding all of my spices inside of it. I think we've got about enough now for this dish.
And Dumi, on your side, I can see you are holding down the filling station. With the filling station, I see you've also got some lettuce, tomato, chips, but also something that I just have been seeing as a common thread throughout our cooking. Sometimes it's just always this Clover Classic. Now, well, for me, what I love about it is that Clover Classic Dairy Snack is deliciously smooth and creamy, and it's a source of 10 vitamins. I love the versatility of it as well, because the packaging varies. It's available in 100 grams, in a 6-pack, in 175 grams, or of course, 500 grams, and that big baby, that 1 kg. So, Dumi, at what stage would you then add that Clover Classic?
But so we're going to Actually added at the very top, at the very, actually the last layer of our Gatsby, because we want that freshness of it. You know, when you bite into your Gatsby, you've got the flavors of the masala, the spices and all of that. So you basically want layers with that. We've got the layer of the cooked meat, and then we've got the layer of freshness, which is the tomatoes and the lettuce that I'm adding. And then we're going to add our Clover classic dairy snack right on the very top of everything else.
I love that. Okay.
As you can see, I've added all of my spices in at the moment, and there's enough in the pan. It's not crowded, so it's not sweating. It's sort of like getting a lot of color on it, and it's cooking all the spices out. I just added a touch of vinegar now into the pan just to sort of deglaze and lift up all that spices. I'm going to put a little bit of water just to aid in getting that process going. Then I'm going to add a bit of onions inside, which is also such a good thing with the masala steak. When it sort of locks in there, you get a bit of crunch from the onions and then that sweetness as well.
Yes, I was also going to say what I do appreciate about onions, and I love onions. A lot of people think I'm weird for that. I don't know why people think I can eat raw onions, not like this, but like in a salad. But I love the fact that sometimes when you do saute onions, it really does bring out the sweetness, the sweet flavor to it.
Balesa, and that will work perfectly with our Clover classic dairy snack, Balesa. And the one thing I love is that as the flavors come together, it reminds me of all these dishes that we're making today, because they're also all about sharing. Not only are we sharing in the making of the dishes, but we're also sharing in the enjoying of it. And I think, like I keep saying, that's exactly what heritage is all about.
Yeah, I mean, you order masala steak Gatsby, and the only way to eat it is on a car bonnet. Yeah, you pop him up there,
You
and
have to
everybody
stand.
just grabs their hand in their chows and ears, we're busy recovering per se, and yeah, just carry on with the evening.
Looking incredible. I see exactly why you say up in Joburg they call it an AK-47. Mina, I would like to call it more of a bazooka, because that is one big baby. And to get your hands on this recipe, please do head over to afternoonexpress.co.za.
So, we've had classic fashion from Timby, classic cars, thanks Chad, and we've seen classic hairstyles. And you, Michael? Classic!
A classic range from Clover. Timeless taste.
Made with love by Clover.